FT in Vegas, day 2, and it is a national holiday today, July 1st.
That's a holiday? Oh, it's Canada Day. Happy Canada Day, Scott.
Happy Canada Day.
Boxer
That's not
Day.
where I was going, but I'll take it.
Boxer Day.
What's Boxer Day? I thought that was after Christmas.
It is B-O. The holiday starts with the letters B-O. B-B-Y.
Bring your own beer.
No.
Damn it.
What's that spell?
B-Y.
B-O-B-B-Y.
Bobby?
Bobby. Space.
Oh, Bobby Bonilla Day.
Yeah.
Oh.
Happy Bobby Bonilla Day.
Nobody.
$1.93 million.
Nobody
Again
defers
for
money.
Bobby Bo.
Nobody
And he
defers
gets it through 2035.
But here's my thing about that. There's so many guys that do this now. It's just because he was the first one. And Dennis
Yeah.
Gilbert at Beverly Hills was the guy who negotiated this contract. And now everyone still talks about it. So good for Bobby Bo. Plus, I mean, God knows how much he's making from the Players Association. So he's getting paid a lot. Still.
We're going to have Shohei Ohtani Day in like 2089 or something like that. But for Bobby, the incredible part is that the last game he played was in 2001.
Yeah, he's got like 10 more years, too.
2035.
Good for him.
From 2001.
Good for you, Bobby Bo. I love you. You're a fun golf guy. Fun golf partner.
Yeah, but he would have gotten more money had he gotten it up front.
Really?
Yes. None of this deferred money is like, oh, wow, the player's making out so well. It's just cool to get the check. Had he gotten the money up front and invested it the same way the team invested it, like the team's not paying him more. They just used that money.
I thought in this case they were paying him more because they thought that their returns were from Bernie Madoff, who was saying that everything was turning into gold. I thought there was a little bit of that in there.
Maybe there's something different, but
yeah.
You always want the money up
front. Didn't he get interest on his, though? I thought he started at 1 and it slowly has gone up.
I think so.
So good
I
for
wish
you.
I did
Whatever.
more homework. But
it'd be nice to be sitting home and get a check for $1+ million every year for no reason.
Exactly.
Griffey still's like the third highest paid Red guy.
Griffey?
Yeah.
He's still
Come
going?
on.
Yeah. I mean, Max Scherzer's going to be getting money for like
Max
20 more years.
Max has got like 15 a year from the Nats for a minute yet.
We'll do a deferral segment in the offseason. I think that'd be fun.
Deferral.
Max Scherzer's getting paid from like 7 different teams this year.
Shohei's is going to be ridiculous. Let's just be honest.
Of course it is. And he's earning it.
$8 million a year.
He
for
is
10
earning it.
years.
We played a little poker last night, or they did. I broadcasted it. If you want to check it out, it's on our YouTube channel live for a few hours. Congratulations to Dylan Betances. We'll talk more about that in a little bit, but Dylan's pretty good at poker. After the poker tournament that he won, what did he do?
He went and played more poker.
He went and played more poker. And we'll
hooked.
play more today. Yes.
Here's my thing with that. Like, there's only one person that has sat at that table and taken Betances out. And it was me, and they all ganged up on me to get me out early. And then so once I was out, there was no chance. I was sitting there, Mark was texting me because I left to take a nap, and Mark was like, he was sending me screenshots of the chip count. I'm like, Betances has got this. And he's like, what do you mean? Pilar has a huge lead. I'm like, Betances has got this.
He did.
It was
what
the
happens.
Dodgers. Dylan was the Dodgers.
He is. But he almost went down early. He almost went down in the wild card round.
He went because he had he had a small stack and he got called, I think, by Chef. Yeah. It was good. He's a good player. There's no denying it.
It was fun.
He gets what's going on.
Yes. All right, let's have some fun with some baseball action from yesterday, because then eventually we're going to have 3 good guests. Let's charge.
Charging the mound.
Red Sox beat up on Chase Burns and the Reds. Wilyer Abreu with a regular homer, and inside the Parker was Chase Burns Tippett in his second start.
Apparently. Listen, he got, 1 out? And had like 0 swings and misses, throwing 100 with the slider and changeup.
6 runs.
It was, and when you see a player go over to another player and it's a pretty good dead giveaway. And if they're like first pitch changeups and sliders and they're hitting them 400 feet with his stuff, something's going on. And Alex Cora is one of the best, legally or illegally, finding ways to find tips.
I mean, how am I supposed to even?
No,
That's an epic line.
Sorry, I mean,
It's true.
I don't mean
It's
that.
true.
I love Alex,
It's on
but
the resume.
It is. It's 100% true. You're always looking for that stuff. People think like all of a sudden the trash can scheme was like, oh, you know what? Let's try this. No, they're exhausting all other things. They're like, they've thought about doing the Victor Martinez and having somebody in center field. Like, they think of everything. So to find something from a rookie's first start is probably not that big a deal for him. But that's, yeah. Was he tipping?
Yes.
I guess we'll never know.
Yes, he was.
Yes.
But you guys don't know what it was.
I didn't watch the game. I was too busy getting my butt kicked in poker.
True.
And taking a nap.
Yes.
Yeah.
But by the time poker was done, the game was already almost over.
What's impressive to me is that if it was tipping, young guys don't necessarily know how to use a tip. Like that early in your big league career, some young guys are like, I don't trust it. I don't trust what you guys got, or I don't see it. So I love seeing young guys who can learn that. Who else is on that team? Who else is on the Red Sox team? On the bench? Bregman. Pretty good. Also, legally or illegally of using tips.
Yes. You know what amazes me from a fan perspective? Even if you do know what's coming, Chase Burns has.
Yeah, but you eliminate
stuff.
things. Here's what you do. So when I knew it was coming, I could eliminate pitches. Like I wanted to know if a guy had a split when he was throwing the split, because until you got 2 strikes, it was just auto take. Nope, not swinging. Because if you threw it first, because it's very rarely a strike, so you just wouldn't swing at it, right? But the thing was, he was throwing them for strikes. So they were like, oh, here comes a slider. Or he throws it for a strike, and it's not the best slider, and they're whack, change it, whack, fastball, whack. That's where it is the biggest thing is your takes. Your takes tell. Mm-hmm. Your takes tell. Like, I remember in 2019-ish when the Rays played the Astros and Glasnow started and they had his pitches. It wasn't the swings. It's the takes. Like, he was throwing hammer breaking balls, and they're just like, not even – there wasn't even like they were just like, nope. And they throw a fastball, whack. I mean, in the first inning, I'm like, they got his pitches. But it's weird on the air. You can't really say that. I mean,
Why not? Yes,
because
you can.
It's kind of maybe you can as the local guy, but as a national guy, you kind of just hint at it because
you're not picking a team.
Yeah, you're not picking a team. You don't want to say like I think Lou Merlone was on the Red Sox saying like, oh, like if I was the Red Sox, I'd be like, Lou, shut up, dude. We might have to play this guy later.
Do you think that you or anyone else on the national broadcast is the only one at that point that knows a tip if you guys are finding it, when there are people on, I think, every team whose job is to find tips?
Some teams are better at it than others.
Some teams really do not care about it, and it's crazy.
Really?
It's crazy to me because of the level of stuff that's out there in the game, and you're sitting there going, like, you don't want to know what's coming? There is not a pitch in the game that if you know it's coming over 3 pitches that a big league hitter can't do damage on. Now, if you only have one chance, or it's like, well, every time he tilts his glove up, it's either slider or changeup, it's off speed, then you might not have. But if you know the pitch specifically what it is, it's damage.
Okay, I'm going to bring some outliers up. I knew what pitch Mariano Rivera was throwing, and I knew what pitch Tommy Kahnle was throwing in the playoffs last year.
I can't figure out Tommy Kahnle. Yeah. Finally, Shohei did the smart thing and just sat on it. I remember he missed a home run by about 2 inches in the World Series, and he was the first one that finally just went up there and sat on it. And the other thing is Mariano was just a different animal because his ball moved like nothing you've ever seen before. I can't, unless you faced him and stood in the box. People are like, I don't understand why you couldn't hit Mariano. Until you stood in the box and understood what his ball did, you can't make it up. That's why, if you remember Chef talking yesterday, the Red Sox saw him all the time. So they got to a point where they were could anticipate his movement. But when, like for me, I would see him once a year, twice a year. It was like, okay, this is impossible. Because he would throw, and then it also helped that the umpire's strike zone with him was like.
Because they didn't know either.
There was balls, I swear. There was one, Bob Davidson, I love you, and he was with a buddy of mine. He called me yesterday. He threw me a pitch and he called it a strike. He struck me out on it. And I was like, Bob, the ball like literally
almost hit you.
Like I felt it nick my jersey. He's like, oh, that's a good pitch. I'm like, there's no way.
But you're talking about an anomaly pitch. You're talking about a glitch. Like you talk about Hader's fastball as a glitch. Like your eye is processing things at a rate higher than your mind is like able to like conceptualize it. Mariano's fastball would not only would it cut, and maybe you see that cut, you have to swing at an area where you're not used to swinging to be able to make contact with it, and then it's moving also in a horizontal direction. So it's just, those are glitch pitches.
Okay, that's fair. It's a good combo, though. It's interesting, but it leads to a victory.
I bet you
for the
next
Red
time he
Sox.
pitches, he'll do something different. Even if they didn't have anything, Frank Cotito and
Derek Johnson.
they'll have him doing something different.
Yeah, even for his psyche.
I mean, there was a thing where Ryan Dempster used to do his whole glove like this. I mean, it didn't stop me from hitting my favorite home run of all time off of him, but
Oh, to try and throw people off.
Happy anniversary to me.
I was going to say, wasn't that the anniversary?
Happy anniversary to me.
It was July 1st.
Yep. Riot. There was almost a riot at Wrigley. It was awesome. They said to stop the game for like 20 minutes because all the Cub fans threw garbage on the field.
Classy.
Yeah. Stay classy.
Stay classy, day games.
All right, so the Red Sox win. I mean, they've lost 7 of 9, but they're only 3 games back of a wild card. So we'll see what happens. There are a lot of teams that can go on a run and get themselves right back in the picture right now.
In the picture and in the lead are 2 different things, Scott.
But 3 games back of a wild card spot? The Orioles, I think, are only 6 games back.
You can't be hot and get to 3 games. You can't win 7 in a row and get to 3 games back. That doesn't get you back in it, because then you need to be hot when you're 3 games back.
No, they've lost 7 of 9 and they're 3 games back.
I'm saying,
Are the Marlins in it?
They're just as in it as the Braves are. Too soon. Wait a few weeks, and then we'll find out. All right, we'll swing back. Let's go over more games. Zack Wheeler's dominance. Cal Raleigh homered again. And then a lot of guests soon. We're doing them nice and early today. BetMGM locks. First off, the free game of the day. Go check it out. Watch and bet within the app. You got to have an account that's funded, and then you can check out the free game of the day in the BetMGM app. Let's take a look at yesterday. Wow, that's easy. Just an X right in the middle.
Yeah, you guys stunk.
your Logan
Chase
Webb,
Burns killed me too, by the way. Damn
Chase
tipper.
Burns killed me as well.
Your Logan Webb was good, though.
Half. I got that one by half. 19 and a half. He got 19 outs.
1 out away.
Yep.
Hap's been great all year, and now he's almost back to level.
Yeah.
I'll go first.
Because he can't bet against the White Sox anymore, so he doesn't know what to do with himself.
All the good teams playing
And
well.
make an adjustment.
You do. You have to make an adjustment when the good teams are playing well. This is their few weeks where they're going to play, or the bad teams are playing well, I should say. This is when you have to make an adjustment. For me, I'm going Dodgers money line. I'm going Rangers money line. I'm going to ride 2 big name starters, Yoshi Yamamoto for the Dodgers and Jacob deGrom for the Rangers. Going up against Shane Smith and Brandon Young. AJ's probably going to say, hold up, Shane Smith's good. I agree.
He's been getting whacked around.
He has been getting whacked.
Good start, though.
Yeah, good start for the Rule 5. I mean, he's still their best starting pitcher they have in Chicago. So, I mean, his last few starts have not been as good.
Yeah.
As good. They've been fine.
Not
Just
as
haven't
good
been
as
as
DeGrom.
good. True. He's also
That's the short end of it.
Exactly. So plus 101 on that one. I'm in plus money. I'm in Vegas. $200 to win 202.
You're really going on a limb there, Scott.
Thank you.
Big one.
Mm-hmm.
What do you have, big boy?
So last night, while you guys were having a team dinner, I went out with some BetMGM people, and one of the guys said, if you need a bet today, let me know.
Okay.
So I went with him. So I'm going 500. I'm betting 500. Claudia, 500, Claudia. Don't get it confused, okay? Detroit Tigers run line, which is only plus 100 at the Nationals. And it's Flaherty versus Trevor Williams. But the thing is, the Nationals are on the West Coast coming home. They're going to be a little tired still. And then under 9.5 strikeouts for the Rockies against the Astros. Kolton Gordon does not strike a lot of people out. He throws a lot of breaking balls. Guess what breaking balls don't do in Colorado?
Break.
They don't break. So under 9.5, that gets me to plus 242, 500. That's like $1,200. So go.
That's a big boy bet.
Yeah.
Very nice.
I like that.
All right. Kratz will do his in a little bit. We're going to swing back and talk about some other games from yesterday. And then guest list, Kolton Wong, Dexter Fowler, Andruw Jones. Better than box scores. Let's hit a few more games from Monday night, starting with Zack Wheeler making a little NL Cy Young run, perhaps, with his 8 innings of shutout baseball.
Is he going to be out there too much to lose the award?
Like he did, 3 years ago?
Yeah.
Maybe. Who did he lose it to? Wasn't it Burns?
Yeah. Burns had like 30 less innings, but almost the same amount of strikeouts. So I guess it's whoever the voters think is most dominant. Right now, he's been the most consistent wire to wire. I think he had 1 clunker. Yamamoto's been like ridiculous early, and then he's just kind of been regular Cy Young level. But the best, to me, I think the best way, obviously, people who vote on it have to give their take on it. But if you're doing it down the stretch, I don't think June's down the stretch, but if you do it July, August, September, that's who wins it. I mean, it's just like MVP, unless you're judge.
To me, the National League is a little bit more condensed. The American League, to me, has more options. Hunter Brown, Skubal. There's better options in the American, more options. Crochet you can throw in there, right? There's more in the American League that you can throw. But the National League, to me, Wheeler,
Skeens,
Yamamoto.
Yeah, I mean, Yamamoto's going to he's going to go on the IL. Let's be honest. He's going to go on the IL at some point. They're
Well,
just going to
end up with 5 or 6 less starts.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
He
I mean, right now, to me, in the National League, it's Skeens and it's Wheeler.
That's it.
And there's not really, I mean, it's like Christopher Sanchez is having a good year, but is he going to keep it up? Freddie Peralta's having a really good year. Is he going to keep it up? DeGrom is in the American League, so you don't got to worry about him anymore, right? I mean, I don't know. There's not Gallen's not having a good year. Logan Webb's having a good year, but he's 7-6, and I know that doesn't matter. But
also
he
also pitches. He
also pitches too much. I mean,
yeah,
but he's the guy that takes the ball and is like, "Oh, you need me to go 8? I'm going to go 8." And I might give up an extra run in the 8th because we're winning 5-2, save a bullpen. So I don't know. To me, right now, it's Skeens and Wheeler in the National League.
But they also pitch. I mean, they are like Webb with the innings. 106 for Skeens, 107 for Wheeler. Let's see how much Webb has. I can also just go to the innings.
I feel like this year, with those 3
and
guys who pitch, who throw a lot, it may push out a Yamamoto. Because it's not like Yamamoto's strikeouts are like otherworldly strikeouts. Listen, he'll be a top 5 because even with his quote IL stint or they just can't have him go over his starts most starts he's ever had in his career.
And he's going to do an extra month. So Wheeler might too. Skeens won't.
Yeah,
but they're not worried about
Wheeler's used to it though.
Yeah, they're not worried about Wheeler's.
But Yamamoto is potentially going to do an extra 5 starts or so in October. They're going to make sure that he may be like
he'll go on the IL at some point.
Phantom IL at the least.
He's never had more than 26 starts ever in his life.
Especially if they get a little bit of a lead,
they're starting to
kind of creep away from
starting to build.
They got a 7.5 game lead right now. They're gonna.
But really, one IL stint could technically be 1 start for him. So because he's not throwing, because he's throwing once every 7 days, it's a 15-day IL. You bring him back on the 15th day, and he starts. So it's going to be there.
It's a special rotation right now for the Phillies, by the way. Suarez is rolling. Christopher Sanchez is rolling. Jesus Luzardo is back on track this month. All right, let's flip to the American League. Cal Raleigh homered again. 2 for Arozarena last night, but Cal's at 33 home runs. You weren't with us last week when we did some Cal talk, including Cal versus Judge for MVP. Have you weighed in on that one yet for first half MVP? Would you like to?
Yeah. Aaron Judge takes it.
Easy?
Sorry, Cal.
No chance.
It's not close?
No chance to me.
For the first half?
No chance. Cal Raleigh should win it.
Okay.
Cal Raleigh should win it. Catcher, premium position.
Okay.
Platinum glove winner, premium position. And last but not least, he's got more homers than Judge, and he's having an all-time historic year. To me, that's MVP. Now, can he keep it up to the second half? I don't know. But if he hits 60 homers as a catcher, you got to win the MVP. I'm sorry.
The question was first half.
Yeah, I'll still take Raleigh. He's got more homers than Judge. Judge hits homers. And he plays position of much importance.
Do you know what Judge's batting average is?
I don't care. Batting average doesn't matter. Ask the writers.
From someone who had a good batting average, too.
Ask the writers. Ask the front office.
Writers
Batting
will
average
tell
is-
you.
Ask Luis
war.
Arraez.
War. Writers will tell you war.
Luis Arraez with
Batting average doesn't matter.
30 homers.
Aaron Judge, 6.3 Fangraphs WAR at the moment. Cal Raleigh, 5.6.
Okay.
If
I'm saying it's very that's
It's close.
That's
If the
so
Mariners-
close that you go by other stats.
Yes. If
It's
Cal
different.
Raleigh wins a platinum glove and he hits 55 homers as a catcher, the all-time record, you don't think he deserves to win MVP?
Oh, yeah, for the season? Absolutely. But for the first half, it's still Judge's award. The question was
I'll die on this sword.
First half MVP is
Aaron Judge.
Cal Raleigh.
His team's in first place. Cal's team is
That
not in
doesn't
first
matter.
place.
The writers have proven that doesn't matter because when A-Rod and some of the other guys win it with their last place team, Mike Trout, they never made the playoffs. He won it. That don't matter. They don't care about that.
Well, that's why I probably have grammatical errors when I text people because I'm not a writer.
They don't care about it. We asked Ken Raleigh.
Ken Raleigh.
Ken Rosenthal. The Mariners are in a playoff spot, by the way, right now.
They are.
So he is helping them.
Historic season by Cal Raleigh. More historical season by A.A. Ron Judge.
This year?
No,
This
it's
chance.
historical.
This half.
chance. No chance. No chance.
Until 3 days ago, he had a 1,200 OPS for the first half of the season. 81 games in, he had 1,200 OPS.
Okay.
His OPS was 200, almost 200 points.
And he's
higher
also
than
been going
Judge.
like this.
I'm not.
Cal Raleigh just keeps bashing homers.
I'm not saying Cal
And
Raleigh.
plus, Cal Raleigh has a better nickname, and Aaron Judge has to do something special to win it because he's already won it so many times. So, therefore, like when Acuna won it, right?
Who had a better first half?
Cal
That's
Raleigh.
my question.
Cal Raleigh, because he catches. Sorry, I'm a catcher. I'm biased. I admit it.
I am also biased, but
Cal Raleigh.
okay.
If somebody does something that's never happened before, in the history of baseball, there's been two guys that have hit more homers in the first half than Cal Raleigh. Barry Bonds and Mark McGwire, right? And they set the all-time home run records both those years. I'm not saying that's going to happen to Cal Raleigh, but if you do something historic like that for a catcher, the all-time home run record for a catcher is like 44. He's already got
almost-
34. That if he hits 50 homers as a catcher, he wins it. I'm sorry. I don't care. I know New York bias, Seattle bias, whatever you want to call it. He should win. That's it. Well, ask Andruw Jones when he comes in here what he thinks. He'll say Aaron Judge because he played for the Yankees, which is a lie because he liked hitting homers.
And I wouldn't even say that's necessarily the case. I'm trying to see if I can find any of the late clutch stats because I know I'd seen some with Cal, but I haven't really searched Aaron Judge on that front because that should matter too, right?
Aaron
Especially
Judge
when we're
versus,
going on the
here's
Aaron
a
Judge
wrap.
versus the Red Sox when they got swept.
Here's
How'd he do?
Here's the
Not
real
good.
question: who's third? Like, is this more of a like nobody's even close
Nobody.
type of
There's
thing?
nobody even in the conversation in the American
It's
League.
crazy. It's crazy. One, that Cal Raleigh's even brought himself up to this level.
Yeah, you're right. But no, nobody else. I mean, I'm looking in the American League teams. Wilson?
No, there is a clear-cut
Jacob
third,
Wilson?
but now he just got hurt.
Who?
Jeremy Pena.
Oh, yeah.
Incredible season, but
True.
now he just got hurt.
Yeah, but he's
Yeah,
not
I
even in
forgot.
the conversation.
No,
As good of a year as he's having.
no. Those two are a step ahead by far. It's a good debate, though.
Not really.
Anyone that's out there
Not
that's
really.
like, it's not close,
It's full of.
come
you know
on.
what?
It's close.
What do you mean it's not close? Some people are saying that
A lot of people.
Or
a lot
Judge
of
already won the
people-
award. I'm like, whoa.
A lot of people are saying it's not close. It's ridiculous. And they are pointing to a few of the slash line stats and then stopping there.
Yeah, they look at the slash line, but then they forget Cal Raleigh's a catcher. He's a catcher, and he catches every day. It's not like he takes days off. He catches 6 out of 7 games, and then the other game he DHs or pinch hits every game.
More important position, catcher or right field?
Stop. Don't even.
Right field in Yankee Stadium, where it's like 275 feet to right.
Mm.
And he's a very good thrower, catcher of the ball. It's not even close. He might be the best right fielder defensively in the game. Just as far as like range and
I'll take Abreu. He has to cover Fenway.
oh yeah, I mean he got to be a center fielder to play in right field.
Yeah.
Fenway.
He's an upper echelon
He is.
defensive
Kyle
right fielder.
Tucker's pretty good, too,
Aaron
in right.
Judge is. Yes, Kyle Tucker's crazy good in right. All right, you decide. Let us know. Drop it in the comments if you're watching this later on. Otherwise,
We should
Andruw
do a
Jones
YouTube poll.
coming up next.
YouTube poll.
Yeah,
Twitter poll.
We could do a poll. Yeah. Andruw Jones coming up next.
Andruw.
Hey, this episode is sponsored by Huel, so I'm going to take a sip while Todd Father tells you about Huel. And Todd Father, you asked me, when should I drink it?
Yeah,
what did I tell you?
Really, it's the best thing for you. Before a workout, after a workout, whatever you're feeling. Like sometimes I'll just drink this just because it tastes that good. The flavor is very good. It's going to make you feel, it's going to fill you up too. Good protein, and it's very appetizing. So for you people out there who are starting to work out or have been, drink this. You're going to feel very much energized and very much full, which is a great thing.
Yeah, people that are having problems, not having enough time to eat their meals, Huel for you. Or a little post-workout protein punch, Huel for you. Start saving time and money without compromising your nutrition today with the FT offer for new customers. 15% off using the code FAL at Huel.com. 15% for new customers using FOUL at Huel.com. See our description for the terms and conditions. Skip the stress, not the nutrition. Try Huel today for complete nutrition. We're back for a minute, just AJ and me, and then we'll have Andruw Jones and Kratz back with us for the TV crowd. Let's show this tweet from Buster Olney. Tarik Skubal and the Tigers created a huge rating Sunday night. 2 million with a peak of 2.3 mil. Sunday Night Baseball ratings are up 11% over last season. It's good when you see the Tigers on that mark,
but
too.
It's also the fact that Skubal was pitching.
Fine.
Crushed it.
Doesn't that play to the
Yes.
point? We need more
That's what
Skubals?
I said when it was Miz versus Skeens. That should have been a national game on one of the channels. And here's the other thing. Good job, ESPN. Ratings are up 11%. By the way, you're done. Get out.
That's true.
What are you doing? You gave it up. And you wanted to give it up. But they want the
option.
NBA. They have the NBA that's ratings just keep going down, but MLB's ratings keep going up. Someone there chose poorly, maybe.
We should interview someone at some point
I
about
don't know.
that.
If only we knew somebody that used to work there.
I think times like these are a message to MLB that they need to figure out a way to incentivize teams that are developing starters who go deep into games and become marquee names in the sport.
By the way, producer lady just sent after breaking up.
I did see that yesterday.
ESPN's trying to get back in.
Yeah.
At probably a cheaper rate, obviously.
It's like a classic high school relationship. Like they're breaking up, they're back together, they're breaking up, they're back together.
Just kidding. Haha. No, I really do love you. I can't live without you. It's
okay. Forget about the money. MLB legend Andruw Jones with us right now. Good to see you again.
Good to see you guys, man. I think the last time we did was in
Atlantic City.
Yeah.
Now we're in Vegas.
Yeah.
So I want to start. Nice upgrade. I want to start with Kratz's question. Go ahead from last segment. You said you wanted to ask him.
I already asked him.
What did he
I
say?
showed you. Who's the MVP?
In the first half,
For the
not
first
not
half.
a prediction. Like from the first half of the season.
Who had the best first half? Andruw Jones. Aaron Judge or Cal Raleigh?
I mean, you got two catchers up here.
Okay.
But he's a Judge guy.
They're
I said
split.
Judge.
I'm
I
Raleigh.
said Judge had a better first half. I still think Cal could win the MVP
But I think
for the season.
You're looking at Judge average because he stay up there like 400 forever, and those things you don't see for a big guy. And we talk about a lot of hitting a bunch of times, and for a guy that big to stay consistent as a hitter, that's pretty good. But I can't give that MVP first half. We don't have first half trophies. Do
Listen,
we?
how many Gold Gloves you win?
I got a couple.
How many?
And
How many Platinum Gloves you win?
we didn't have platinum.
Oh, because Cal Raleigh's got a Platinum glove. That you take your 10, that doesn't equal one Platinum. I don't think. I don't know how.
They didn't have platinum. He would have won a bunch
I
of
probably
them.
would have.
That's not the point. Just because they didn't have them doesn't mean you didn't win one. You didn't win one.
I didn't
Just
win
'cause
one,
you
so
didn't have
I
I didn't win one.
I totally agree with you. He's if he keep it up, I think he's going to be probably top MVP.
If he hits 50 homers as a catcher,
he's going to win MVP.
thank you.
Yeah.
He's got.
I mean,
Nobody's
By
disagreeing with
you
that.
are. By the way,
Shut up.
he's got 34 homers at the All-Star break. That's like a career year for like 99% of the league.
Everybody basically.
He's already at 33. He might be at 38 by the All-Star
Yeah.
break. We're
Yeah.
still a week and a half away.
And be honest with you, he hit in a tough stadium, by the way, too. Yeah, it's a tough stadium to hit in. And if you have to say, "Oh, we're going to give a half,"
That's what I'm saying.
MVP, he probably will get it.
Okay, there you go.
He will get it.
He's the
Right.
deciding vote.
A lot of respect to judge of his average. I mean, like we say,
That's crazy.
it's tough to stay on 400 for
Yeah.
3 months. You know what I mean? Somebody sniffed that only like April.
Also, one of them plays in Yankee Stadium. One of them plays in Seattle.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm just saying it's a little easier to hit homers in one than the other.
Yeah.
you still got to hit him. You still got to hit him.
I know. I'm just saying.
How
Anyway.
much has anybody ever talked about the fact that Cal Raleigh got an extension this year? Does that make him play free and easier and say? Because if it doesn't, obviously he's the only one that can say that. You get some money. What's the difference in how you're playing?
Well, I mean,
I got more pressure now?
No, you feel more comfortable. You make it your home, and you just feel comfortable. I mean, obviously he got drafted by Seattle, and the Seattle is the team that gave him the opportunity to chase his dream. And when you lock a guy early up, he's gonna have a freedom to just go out there and have fun and play the game the way you want to play. Sometimes guys tense a little bit when they come to free agency because they want to have a good year going to free agency. But I think if you get kids, a good standard early, they go out there and have fun and put numbers like that.
Yeah, we're seeing some of that. All right, I want to take us to the World Baseball Classic.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you're the manager.
For Team Netherlands.
Yeah, I might do a Bobby Cox, wear my spikes out there.
You better.
No,
you won't.
No,
have some jump man spikes on.
No. My knees will be barking too much, man. We played that game in Alabama the other day, and I just don't feel good about it.
Wait, but I don't think it would bother you as much as you think because you'd only last a few innings. If you're going to do your full Bobby Cox, as soon as a player comes up to you and says, "Hey, Bobby, they're squeezing me," you got to have their back.
You know what, though? I can get thrown out of the game. I never got thrown out of the game my whole career, so I'm not going to try to get it.
Not one?
No.
Because Bobby got thrown out every time for you. Or
Every
Bobby or Ozzy.
Every time when we tell him something that, hey, this guy's squeezing this hell out of this guy, you go, really? Next pitch, gone.
Is that what he would do when you guys went up to him? He would go?
He will go as soon as somebody gets squeezed. And don't let those big guys get him squeezed. He's going to get tossed quick.
If it's Maddox or Glavine or Smoltz, he's there first inning.
100%,
Done.
100%. He got thrown out of the game in Yankee Stadium, first inning. We go play in the interleague game, and first inning he go, "Is this freaking Braves time right now because we're in Yankee Stadium?" And he go, "You go."
All right, that's actually pretty surprising though. You've never had any ejections, and
I got close from being on the bench and tripping so much because when I didn't play every day, I really talk a lot of trash to the arms. So, but no, close, very close, but I never got.
Okay, who's going to be on Team Netherlands? What's the recruiting going? Have you gotten official commitments?
I got about 2 pitchers commitment. Hopefully, the organization will give them the freedom to go. I talked with one pitcher, Antoine Kelly, that is pretty young with Pittsburgh. I talked with Sancho, the guy that throw both arms. So they kind of want to. I would love to have him because I see how they're doing through the minor league, and it's a short series, and you need arms. Position players, I talk with Profar, I talk with Albies, I talk with Rafaela. I talk with a couple guys that's playing in Mexico, like Didi Gregorius and Scope, Jonathan Scope. I talked with Kenley Jansen. I told him, I say, hey, even if you don't pitch, I just want you to be on the team so you can help these young guys, with the, how you learn all the craft that you do, and it would be a good thing for him.
How about Drew?
Drew, he's on the roster, but we'll see. We'll see if we, if we need a guy to go out there and play.
You'll see if he plays good enough.
Yeah.
He's got to make the team.
He's got to make the team.
Would his mom be the one that would keep him off the team or on the team? Like, who would push more? Would you be like...
Well, his mom hit me up. He go, is he going to play on the team? I say, he's on the roster. We'll see.
You got to earn it.
Yeah, you got to show up. You got to show me that you can do it.
Any of your legends, obviously nobody really knows these legends, but playing against Team Netherlands, any of the legends going to play? Sherendel de Caster.
No, those guys are retired.
Jair Jurgen. We had Jair on the other day. See, now.
You know what? He's pitching in an independent league. So
I know.
We never know.
Blyleven going to make a comeback?
He might. The last two.
Vandenherk.
The last 3 times that, I played one in 2013, and then I coached the next 2 ones. He was the pitching coach. He's a fun. I love him.
Yeah, he's great.
He's a great man. So it's going to be interesting. Obviously, like I say, it's a short series, so you want to have arm. And, the things that, the Kingdom always have problem with is arms. We had all the position players, but we don't have arms. So I think right now we have quite a few good arms through the minor league, and hopefully the minor organization.
Get Kenley to catch and pitch.
I don't think he's going to get down there no more.
He ain't getting back up if he gets down there.
Yes, he will not.
Bogarts? What about Bogarts?
Oh, yeah. I forgot Bogarts, too. Bogarts is playing commit too. So, we're going to have a good squad. We're going to have we're not going to have that easy division that we used to have when we go play overseas in Korea or Japan. But we're going to have to face, Dominican Republic, Venezuela, Israel. I think Israel is my underdog team.
Sneaky.
Sleeper team.
Sneaky because they got all the American guys going to be playing on that team.
They are this time, right?
Yeah.
Like who?
All
Bregman?
the guys that are
those guys
that have some family Jewish, they can play on it.
So that's the 4. Those are the 4 teams in that group. DR and Venezuela from the jump,
and I think it's Nicaragua.
Okay.
Wait, what does Puerto Rico have then?
Puerto Rico they're going to start in Puerto Rico. I think they're going to start in Puerto Rico.
I got to look this up now because now you got me all kind of.
You guys
Where's Poland starting?
Poland's not in it because they won't hire
That's a juggernaut to start. You're in the same pool right off the jump with DR and Venezuela?
Yes. So it's going to be a
tough draw.
It's a tough one.
What, 2 come out of the pool?
Yep,
oh, my gosh.
And I'm telling you, Israel is sneaky. They're sneaky.
So it's 5 teams and 2 come out?
Yes. But 2 come up and it's go, run differentiation, run, how many runs you scored and all that stuff. So it's going to be tough.
Tough. That's a tough.
How important do you think that development for young players? Because you always talk about oh, he's young. I don't know if the organization will let him play. My opinion of it is those international baseball, whether it's winter ball, whether it's Olympic qualifiers, all that stuff, is the only time some minor leaguers ever get a chance to compete. How important do you think it is for those guys to get that opportunity to grow and be a better big leaguer that wins?
Well, I mean, if you get those opportunities to go to those teams, you're going to play with some big league players already. So you can get a chance to pick their brain, be around them, see how they go about their business. I'm not saying in the minor league you don't compete. You compete every day, but, it's not like, a very high standard competition or like a playoff. In these international games, every game is like Game 7 of the World Series.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's a little bit more passion. It's a little bit more enthusiasm to go, trying to score, make the perfect pitch, try not to make mistakes. So, it's good for the young kids. I love it. I mean, we had a bunch of young kids when I first played in 2013, Bogarts were coming, Jonathan Scope was coming. We had a lot of young guys, and Anderson Simmons was coming too. So those guys were part of that group that kind of develop and start growing up and trying to reach their level where they wanted to be.
You guys have the group of death, by the way. Like in soccer, they talk about it in the World Cup and places. Did Venezuela, Dominican, Netherlands, Israel, Nicaragua. Poor Nicaragua is in trouble.
Yeah.
But then you look at, y'all couldn't have got Puerto Rico, Cuba, Canada, Panama, Colombia. That would have been nice for y'all.
Well,
kind of slide listen, no offense, USA, Mexico, Italy, Great Britain with their jerseys that don't even work. The letters fall off. And Brazil?
They need to get them to the next round for ratings. But, come on.
Is Piazza going to be the manager for Italy?
I don't think he's doing it this year.
No.
I think maybe Sevilla is.
Oh, but I thought he was Venezuelan. Or
maybe. I don't
Whatever's most advantageous.
Oh, okay.
Andrew, it is ridiculous. I know. I guess some.
even Japan, Australia, Korea, Czech, Czechia, and Taipei. I mean, Japan's like, oh, thank
That's
you.
why we used to be all the time. We used to play Chinese Taipei, Australia, and we will run through them a little bit.
You would have to beat Korea.
We beat Korea. We beat Korea. We beat Japan. Before, but those are easier.
Your pools.
You guys are getting worked. I'm telling you, that division, that pool is by far the toughest. It's not even close.
That's why I say we need pitching. We need arm, because if somebody gets in trouble, you got to get out.
At least you get to go to Miami for like 4 days, 5 days.
Yeah, I mean, it can be a vacation, it can be a long one too. If we we might surprise somebody. You never know. We never know if the guys do what they need to do, and if I get the arms that is available. We got, I look at the roster. We got a couple, good American pitchers that is in AAA and AA that is American, that the family are Dutch. So, we have them on the roster. So we'll see what happens.
Okay.
All right, let's go to some a little more this year.
Okay.
What the heck's wrong with your Braves?
Oh, man. Struggle, boss.
Why, though? I mean, because they couldn't hit last year, and they still aren't really hitting this year.
Well, I mean, the way it finished last year, they battled to get into the playoffs, so it was just drained out already, and it was kind of weird the way the situation went. You play doubleheader to go into the playoff. Who win, who lose, go to the playoff. So it was kind of like a set up, I think, kind of thing. To be honest with you, because one team gave up, one team was like, okay, I don't want to go to San Diego, so let these guys go to San Diego. You know what I mean? So it felt bad for Arizona Diamondbacks because they got push out of that when that situation came together. Tough series against San Diego up in San Diego for the playoff. We just bad dragging. Bad start. You play two teams that have your numbers. It's tough. You start the season with San Diego. They beat you. They beat you last year to get to move on to the playoff. You play LA that you can't beat. You know what I mean? So just tough start, and then just everything just kept going. Injuries, guys not ready, guys not making quick adjustments. I feel like we're not putting, like when we were putting numbers, or we didn't get a couple back-to-back hits, run score. Now we get 2 hits, 2 quick outs, and somebody hit the ball good, but it's out. So you don't score like that.
Do you think there are too many extensions? Going back to what we talked about earlier, this was brought up on one of our shows a week and a half ago. Like, are there too many guys comfortably set up in long-term contracts?
I mean, yes and no in the same time, be honest with you. The contracts that they sign these guys up are, pretty decent contract for everybody, but it's not what like a whole contract, you know what I mean? So if you can lock a guy young and be done with it, it's good. I think we went a little bit too quick on a couple guys, but you just gotta let them perform. I mean, we all did that before. We had to go to almost free agency before you get to that extension, or you got to go free agent. So we got to do arbitration. Never know. Arbitration cases can go one to the team and one to the player. But I think the arbitration money is too high now. That's why they're trying to avoid that and give the kids, a extension real quick to avoid those high. I think arbitration now is like $20 million now or something like that on their third year. So it's the money's going high.
Yeah. How much are you watching? With the Braves also versus watching your son, Drew?
I watch both. I get chance because his games start late, and I watch Braves early. So I watch all the games, and I go to the game all the time. I still do stuff with the Braves. Spring training. I go out to the clubhouse and talk with the guys, and ask them what's going on or how you feeling, how your family, whatever. So just baseball operation with them.
Are you mentoring? I remember there's sometimes specific players. I don't know if it's just the Braves or if there's other players in the league. I know, weren't you working with Christian Poche at one point?
I'll be honest with you, I went to see all those kids, Pache, Acuna, Riley,
yep.
Swanson, all those guys when they were, through the minor league. And that's why we had a different minor league coordinator, and he wanted us to go there and talk to guys, watch them, and see what they're doing. Talk with them, be in the dugout during the game. Say, hey, if you just hit a 95 mile per hour fastball up in the zone for a homer, you're not gonna see a fastball the next at bat. Right? Just take it out of your head. So what are you gonna look for? Something else, right? So, just little stuff that put in the head of the kids, and just so they can, go out there and put numbers and have fun.
Drew, you're obviously people know you for the Braves. I played with you with the White Sox, Yankees also, but the Braves are playing in Bristol. Are you going to the Speedway Classic? Because you're from down, Curacao, Netherlands, down there, Aruba area. They don't have NASCAR down there. So you're going to come out, and wave the checkered flag?
Hey, I love speed, but I might. I love speed. I like to go fast. I don't drive slow.
So if they said to you, Drew, we need you to come to Bristol. You play in the Happy League, right? Danville?
Yeah.
So that's not that far from Bristol. No. If they said to you, we want you to come there and be a Braves ambassador, would you say yes? Then you get to watch Tim McGraw play.
Yeah, I think I'm a part of the group already. I think I think the Cap group is doing a trip there too. So
okay.
I think I'm going to be part of it, but I don't know. I might be out of town.
Oh, stop it!
I might be busy.
Yeah, you're going to be out of town because you're going to be in Bristol. That's where you're going to be.
Maybe that's what I think it's on my schedule.
Okay, all right, better be because that'd be.
We did some.
They're supposed to get they want 100,000 people there. I don't know if they're going to get that, but they want 100,000.
I think they were around. I think it's probably going to be like 80. I think
that's a lot of people.
Still a lot of people.
Yeah,
a lot of people.
A lot of bad seats.
Yeah.
People are going to be like,
yeah. But I think we did a talk about it, and they're going to do a lot of seats in the zone, so the fans can experience the ground of the from the baseball view and stuff like that. So I think MLB is putting really good together, so they can enjoy the game.
Last one. I know we're not really in that time period, although it's a month away from speeches. We can get you in the Hall of Fame next year. What's the deal?
I don't know. I mean, we trend in the right direction, so we'll see what happens. I think this year I finished at 64 or something, 65. I don't know.
Close.
But
you know how many. Don't you give me
64.3%.
I played with you. You knew every stat. So tell me exactly how many points. Percentage.
64.5.
Thank you. Okay. Thank you.
Is that what it is?
I don't know. I'll look.
I don't know. It's something like that.
It's in that range.
Anyway, so it's over there. Every year, we move in the right direction. So we'll see what happens when that time get there. Be honest with you, people tell you about it all the time. Hey, you close. You should be in. Blah blah blah, and this and that. But at the end of the day, if I go in, I go in. If I don't, I won't be the same person that I am. My family, my players know how, my teammates know how hard I work on going out there and help my team win. And, it always was about team for me. I wanted to go out there and help my team win, sacrifice whatever I need to sacrifice. So at the end of that, you do those things on a consistent basis, you put good numbers, and, all of a sudden then your name start falling in this category with, some of the greatest guys that play the game. But if it happened, it will be a great honor for my family, myself, and the island of Curacao. But, we'll see kind of day.
Plus, you make a lot of money if you can put HOF at the back of your autograph. I'm just saying. Not that Frank Thomas has ever told me that, or some of the guys you know. They're like, man, that changed my life. Now I just put that little HOF, and my life has changed forever.
Try not to go into your savings.
Right. 66.2%, which was up from 2024, 61.6, which was up from 2023, 58.1. And you got to get to 75.
How many more years do you have left on the ballot?
I think two more.
Two more eligibility.
I need that invite. I'm going to have to get that invite in the mail.
Come on, man. Why open if it happened?
We're going to have a big party.
We're going to have a big party for sure.
I know that about you. We're going to have a big party.
I think center fielders are disrespected, though, with the voting. I think there's certain positions that are not getting enough love, and I think center field's one of them. True. He's talked about Torrey Hunter.
I say if you go in, Torrey Hunter's got to be on your coattails because if you look at your numbers.
Beltran, too.
Jim Edmonds.
There's Kenny a lot Lofton. Of guys. Kenny Lofton.
Lofton.
That got just brushed by.
I'm just, we were talking about it in the group that we have, and, we would talk about when Dave Parker passed away, and we would talk about, how many guys that belong in the Hall of Fame, that had a Hall of Fame career, that get overlooked because the guys before them had tremendous numbers, and you was there, but you were not going to be that person.
Yeah.
You're not going to be Willie Mays. You're not going to be Ken Griffey Jr. It's going to be only one of those guys. But you play on the higher level with them, you should get the recognition of what your number was with them, and then respect the guy as he was one of the great ones that played the position.
So they ruined it for you.
I mean, those guys had they had great numbers. I mean, Jim Apton got great numbers. Kenny Lofton got great numbers. Tory Hunter got great numbers. Those guys, I mean, it's just, they just push them away from it because the guys before had tremendous numbers.
Top 10 in all of baseball.
In everything. So
it ruined it for the other center fielders.
Yeah, it's tough.
Yeah, different era too with those guys when you go far back enough.
Yeah.
Thanks for stopping by.
Oh,
Good
thank you
to
for
see
having me, guys.
Good luck in
Awesome.
poker
How are we going to
today.
do in poker today? Better than yesterday. You were first one out.
Yeah.
Me and you. They teamed
You guys
up on
went
us.
last too.
They teamed up on us.
I needed to go make real money back there. So I went to the table and trying to, collect the real chips. Even though I didn't know that, you could have won $25,000 for your charity event. So if I knew I was going to win $25,000 for a charity event, I would have played a little bit different.
We had the check right in the room.
I did not know. I didn't know. I did not know that.
You weren't watching the broadcast?
No.
Not an FT fan.
Put in 4 hours of my voice. All right, good to see you, FT fan. We'll be right back. Kolton Wong joining us next.
What time this thing started?
Thanks, Drew.
Good stuff. What? Hey, we're back. Let's go over our locks. I did mine. AJ, you're up.
No, I already did mine.
Kratz,
Pay
you're
attention,
up.
Scott.
I'm paying
Just taking
attention. Just not to you. Kratz, you're
Detroit
up.
money line, Houston money line. Parlaying together, 167. Houston's got the Nationals, Trevor Williams. They've been swinging it, so I got Houston winning that game pretty easily, and my buddy's already got Detroit at -1.5, so we're on it.
Boom. There you go. Those are our picks for the day. Also, there's a little footage from yesterday.
See, I had Dexter distracting me on one side, Betanzas distracting me on the other side. They knew what they were doing. They teamed up on me, and then Andruw was there. They knew what they were doing.
Look at Chef's cards.
Yeah.
Chef had some serious cards.
He did.
He was
almost out early, too. He was down
He was like
to the bottom quick.
How am I going to lose to?
Kratz, here's the thing about Kratz's strategy. Kratz didn't play for like the first hour at all.
You were quiet. We were talking about you. I was like,
didn't say a
You
word.
didn't
He
get
just sat
cards,
down there like this, and then all of a sudden he goes like big in, and Betanzas goes, "He's got good cards. He's either got queens or aces. I'm out."
usually you've got good bluffing skills.
I got one. I played some hands.
No, you did.
I just got.
But you got into it later.
I never played any hands deep.
Right.
I didn't have anything to. Got no flops. Got no draws. Nothing.
You didn't have ammo. All right, no matter where the action is, let's supercharge the odds on your next sports bet. Use the Odds Boost token in the BetMGM app to boost your potential payout from a winning bet. Go check that out on the app right now. Gambling problem or concern, call 1-800-GAMBLER. Back in a minute with Kolton Wong. here. You just announced your retirement about a month ago after 11 seasons. First off, congrats, man. We haven't had you on since.
No, I appreciate it, man. Yeah, it was one of those things where I was having more fun with my kids than I was, enjoying the game. So just knew that it was time. I was always kind of the guy that just wanted to be at the field all day, every day. So once I had the kids and realized that I just wanted to be with them all day, every day, it was an easy decision.
Okay. And how does it feel since, right? So it's been about a month. Mm-hmm. Do you miss playing? Do you watch much ball? Or are you trying to kind of take a break, cleanse, and just total family time hang out? I don't know. Are the kids watching baseball? Because that usually obviously leads to you watching more games if that's the case.
Yeah, trying to keep it kind of, as a part of that's just been our lives forever. That's kind of what gave us the life that we have right now. So I try to make sure that my kids, understand what dad did, regardless of, they're only 2 and 3 years old. So, they don't really remember anything, but yeah, just, keeping them around the game. But for me, I miss mostly just being around the guys. The game is cool, but I feel like I've been in pretty much every situation you can be in a baseball game, so it's just for me, it's just that camaraderie with the guys, being able to talk some smack here and there, and that little, chatter is what I miss the most.
Mm-hmm. You remember, so last night we went to dinner and you had this group, Sheffield, Dexter, Fowler, who will join us later. Is it those moments where, Chef's setting up shop and you're getting all the stories?
Absolutely. When Chef talks, I just mute. I sit back and I just let him talk. It's just crazy when you hear him, you hear, Drew, how they're talking in the game and the confidence that just kind of just oozes out of them. It's like, man, you understand why these guys are great. It's just they just have that aura with them.
Would you have been better if you were that confident?
I think so.
He was. I played with him. He was.
He was confident?
Yeah, he was a little cocky. Yeah, he's a cocky little fella.
Everybody has a certain level of confidence, but the game will beat you down.
True. He was good.
It didn't seem like Chef, the game didn't beat him down. It seemed like he beat the game down.
Man, hearing him talk about his stats, just like how he was Triple Crown winner, 18 years old, first spring training, I'm like, that's just unheard of, hearing that kind of stuff. That's just how great these guys were. It's just funny to hear them talk about, how they hit compared to, the hitting mechanics nowadays and what these, hitting coaches all, talk about. It's just, it's totally different, but that's why these guys are great.
Have you conceptualized what you did for your career? Because sometimes guys are hesitant to talk too much about individually how things went, and even from a team perspective, just to reflect too much until it's done. Mm-hmm. Now you can officially look back and be like, this is the moment I'm most proud of. These are my top memories, any regrets, stories, etc. So have you gotten to process some of that?
Yeah, I think I'm mostly just proud of the way it kind of went. Obviously I started off, everybody knows I got picked off in the World Series, so kind of starting from that, your first taste of big league ball, is like going to the off season knowing that, man, I was that guy, and to look 10 years later and be like, man, I had a 10-year career after that. I thought I was done. I'm looking at, I remember being 22 years old, just sitting in my room, just like looking at the wall and be like, man, I'm done playing ball before I even started. This is crazy. And it's just proud of the fact that I was able to kind of continue to progress and not let that affect me as much.
What helped you get through that the most? Because kids go through ups and downs. Mm-hmm. Normally the kids that make the big leagues are just the best everywhere. You're the best in high school, you're the best in college, the minor leagues. That's how you get to the big leagues. Yep. Who helped you or what helped you get through that? Because if people look back, that is an iconic moment. Absolutely. That could have been, like you said, derailed your career.
Yeah. Man, I think it was just honestly the upbringing that I had. It was nothing was given to me my whole life. So for me, it was always about proving people wrong. And that was another, I guess, a big stepping stone for me to prove people wrong. It was like, I'm not going to allow this to, basically describe who I am as a player. I've never, it's funny to say, but I've never struggled in baseball, until this point. And, so for me, it was a tough pill to swallow at the time. I was still young, still trying to figure out, how to go about it. But, it honestly, people ask me to today, they're like, do you regret that? I'm like, yeah, but I wouldn't change it. I appreciate that it happened because it made me the man that I am. It made me have that hunger and that grind to continue to push every single day knowing that I wanted to prove people wrong.
Mike Matheny helped you through it, let's be honest.
Yeah,
we all know that.
Help.
You and I know that it was him that got you through all that stuff.
AJ's favorite manager.
It was either that or you grew up in Hawaii. You played at the University of Hawaii when you were a little kid. You watched me in the Hawaii Winter League. You were like 2 years old at the time. So then you strive to play on the same field as me, and then we became teammates. So I mean, it could have been one or the other.
Yeah, I tell you what, that was the best time of my life when you came over. It was so funny. Just like the things that you did in the clubhouse too. I mean, I won't tell some of the jokes that you pulled on some of the guys. Specifically Chicago.
Yeah,
we talked about it.
We talked about that story.
Made the airwaves.
I tell you what, you had everybody shook in that clubhouse when that thing went down. We were like, "There's cops and everything here." It's crazy, man. But yeah,
I've said this before, but I thank y'all, like you, John, Daniel, like even Pat Nisha.
Say last name so people know.
Oh, sorry, John J, Daniel Descalso.
Yep.
Kolton, Matt Adams, Lackey came over, Lance Lynn was there. Even Wayno and Carp and Holiday. But y'all made baseball fun because I came from the Red Sox and it wasn't fun there.
Yeah.
And I came over to y'all and it was like, oh man, I could kind of be a little looser. Not that they looked at that and were like, man, this guy. It was kind of like they looked at me like, what's wrong with this guy, right? But it was fun because they had some young guys that wanted to have fun and you guys weren't really allowed to do it that much. Yeah. So I was like, yeah, you guys follow me, we'll have fun. And we still played well. We lost in the NLCS, but y'all made, and I played 2 more years after that because you guys kind of made me. Goes, man, I kind of like baseball still. Like I like being around the guys and this and that. So I think like I said, you, John, Descalso, Lance, you guys were the young guys on that team. But you guys, to me, I was like, oh, this is fun because these guys can still do things as youngsters. They don't know it yet, right? So I think y'all, it was appreciated.
Oh, no, man. Just you coming over too and bringing that knowledge and just like it was more like that little edge that we needed. I feel like we didn't have that at the time. And when you came over, it was like, all right, man, that's it. That's the guy we need right there. He just kind of kept everybody on their toes, and it was fun because, as a young guy, you're just trying to have fun, but you're also trying to be serious, especially in the Cardinals. We were expected to go to the playoffs every year. That was something that it was just kind of ingrained in you from the minor leagues, so when Asia came over, it was fun to kind of have somebody there to break the monotony of just, being so focused on playing ball. Like the little things like that incident, man, that's stories that I'll have forever.
Being stuffy make you lose games, like a stuffy clubhouse where you're like, oh man, I can't do anything. Like I don't want to do anything wrong. Is this person, and then this person's not fun. Like, does that make you lose games?
For sure. I feel like that makes you lose who you are as a player too. I mean, I was kind of that kid when I first got up there. It's like I didn't want to do anything wrong. I was scared to do anything wrong. And obviously, I screwed up on the biggest stage you can possibly do it. But, it wasn't until I finally told myself, like, man, I hit rock bottom doing that. It's like, it wasn't that bad. I'm still here, and that's what really turned my career and allowed me to really become the player that I wanted to be was, I think, going through all that fire and realizing, like, man, it's not that bad. Like, if I can go through this and withstand this, there's nothing I can be afraid of now.
Agreed. You grew up in Hawaii, like I mentioned. What's the journey like from – because I played in Hawaii, and I was there for like 3 months, and I was like, man, I got the island fever. I got to get the heck off this island. But you grew up there. Yeah. You still are there. Mm-hmm. What's it like going from Hawaii to the mainland? I mean, that's got to be maybe the opposite culture shock of even, you're stuck on an island. You're out there in the middle of the Pacific, and then all of a sudden you go to the mainland and you're living there full time. That's got to be a little bit of a shock.
Oh, it's crazy. I remember when I first got drafted, I was like, man, I got drafted with the St. Louis Cardinals. I'm like, where is that? So I pull my phone, I'm like, wow, I've never been to this place before, So I remember going to St. Louis, and obviously walking in, you see the stadium, and St. Louis has that aura of like baseball, Just when you walk in, you got the arches, you got everything kind of, there, and then so I do my whole thing. I sign with the Cardinals and that, and then they're like, "You're going to Quad Cities, Iowa," and I'm like, where's Iowa and
Still
where's
America?
Quad Cities? So you look that up, and then, man, it's just cool because all the stories that I made throughout that time, for being a kid from Hilo, Hawaii, to be able to be doing that and playing in these crazy small towns, it was cool because it just made me the man that I am today, understanding that the island is not as big as we thought it was, and growing up, that was kind of everything for us. That was our world, so it just made me realize, like, man, if I want to make it, I got to work, bro, because I'm playing against guys from Dominican, I'm playing against guys from Venezuela. I mean, all these kids up here are just so much more advanced than I am, just because, in Hawaii, like, we don't really have the means to create the kind of facilities like they have in Arizona, California, Texas. So for me, it was like, man, I just seen all these kids and how advanced they were. I was like, okay, I got to work. So it was cool to see that.
Was that the farthest east you had been when you landed in St. Louis, or did you guys play? Did Hawaii go
so
farther when you were in school?
I think we went further, but when I was younger, we played in the Capricorn World Series in Aberdeen, Maryland.
So you had already gone out there.
Yeah, I've gone past the Midwest a couple of times, but never smack dab right there in good old USA. So I was like
Middle America.
America.
Especially you go to Quad Cities, Iowa. That's
Woof.
definitely Middle America.
Woof.
I remember my first time going to Quad Cities too. I'm walking to the stadium and it's flooded. Have you guys ever seen that?
Yeah.
And they had to build literally a walking path through the water to the stadium, and I'm like, what is this?
Is it near a river?
Yeah, Mississippi River's right there in the outfield, right field. It goes right behind it.
I never played in that.
Did you try and throw a ball over the bridge? Did they tell you that story?
I tried, but I don't even think I touched the bridge.
You're so far
Second
away.
base.
So there's this giant bridge.
No, I've seen pictures of it.
Right?
Yeah.
But when you get there, when we went there as a visitor, they would have to tell you, don't try and throw the ball over the bridge. You cannot do it. It looks like it's right. It's like 5 feet away.
Yeah.
It's forever, and every pitcher's like, "I can do it," and someone's But they literally tell you, do not try and throw the ball. You can't do it. Don't even waste your time. But of course, everyone's stupid. You're 18 years old. Let's try it. Another one. Yeah. So, but what do you do now? You have a hobby? You bored yet?
So I honestly just got into snowboarding. I
You
always
can't
wanted to
snowboard in Hawaii.
He moved back to Hawaii too. He told me he just
You moved to Hawaii to snowboard?
Come on, man.
So we were in Arizona. I was living in Arizona the past 4 years because I was like, I just started my family. We had 2 boys. We just kind of wanted to be central because my wife's from Ohio. I'm from Hawaii. So we called Arizona home. And right when I retired, there's a Flagstaff 2 hours away. And I was like, you know what? Let's go snowboard. My wife loves skiing. So I was like, let's go try. Took a lesson, man. I had to take the pride out of it, because I tried it twice before, couldn't even get down the bunny hill. And I was like, this is ridiculous. I took a lesson, 3-hour lesson. After that, I was locked, man. I just learned all the little details. I've skateboarded my whole life. I've done a little bit of surfing, but once I got the basics, man, it's so fun and it's so beautiful in the mountains. Just being able to do that. So me and my wife took, I think, probably 4 to 5 trips when I retired. We went to Utah. We went to where's in Canada?
Banff.
Whistler.
Did Flagstaff a couple times, so really got into that. And I'm like, man, I love Hawaii, but I'm a little scared of sharks. So surfing is a little out for me, but Japan seems pretty cool. So I'm thinking about trying to hit Japan for some snowboarding this off season.
You know what skiers called snowboarders?
What?
Trouble, because you always wreck a skiers.
True.
You ski, snowboarders. You guys got no regard for life. It's like,
you got
get out of
guys
the way.
me coming down the damn hill going straight
That's
down.
what I'm saying.
You didn't try
That is
skiing?
true.
Did you feel too manly to try skiing, or what's? Your wife is skiing. Did that feel too?
Kinda. I grew up on a board. That's why I always grew up longboarding and messing with that. So I was like, if I can longboard, I'm gonna stick to that. Plus, it's just cooler, man. It's cooler to carve and stuff. And you watch everybody on the skis; they're just going straight down. I'm like, it's not for me. I like to be able to carve, hit a little jump when I learn how to do it. So I plan on being pretty good.
And you should be afraid of sharks.
No,
Stop it.
I've seen too much.
You should be afraid.
Stop it. It's like alligators. Stop it.
AJ wrestles them.
Yeah, but
Stop
you
it.
should. If you're afraid of sharks, you don't just had a shark encounter. No, sharks win.
They do.
You're in their habitat.
They swim circles around you, literally.
Literally.
There's nothing you can do when they're around you.
Yep.
Last one for me. So we talked a lot of Cardinals.
Yeah.
What was the biggest difference you saw once you left the org? So you did what? A little Seattle, Milwaukee, and LA?
Yeah.
Dodgers.
I think the biggest thing that I tell everybody when they ask that question is St. Louis taught me how to create a routine, and that was the biggest thing that for a young guy, we had so many older vets that would come in and kind of share their knowledge. We had Ozzie Smith, Jose Oquendo, you had Willie McGee coming in, all these guys. So we'd always pick their brains, but they would always be trying to help us, and as a young guy, you're just trying to figure out a routine that works. So I feel like that was a big thing for me is the Cardinals really helped me establish that routine, learn that, that is a routine that's going to help me be ready for every game. And then when I went to Milwaukee, it was a little more relaxed, in Milwaukee, but I already knew who I was as a player. I knew, my routines. I knew all that. So it was nice to go there and be free and just kind of do my thing and prepare the way I want to prepare. And then Seattle was really cool. They were very analytical. They were still kind of a little shaky with how they were doing things, but you can see now they're starting to really take off. But LA by far was one of my favorite places to play. I think just top down from front office all the way down to managers to even the guys in the clubhouse. It was just first class all the way, and I was I tried calling Doc the next year and be like, Doc, I'll sign League Minimum to come back and play for y'all, man, because I really enjoyed my time there.
You played in St. Louis, and then you went to Milwaukee.
Mm-hmm.
What was the biggest misconception? Because you played, I mean, it's a rivalry, all that stuff, that when you went over to Milwaukee, you were like, wow, they're different than what I thought when I looked across there all the time. Yep. This person wasn't as annoying as I thought.
Yeah. I think the biggest thing was I feel like Milwaukee and Tampa were the first ones to kind of start the shifts. You know, you guys started putting Travis Shaw in short right. You know, you guys would kind of do all those crazy movements. So for me, I was like, you know, Milwaukee seems like they're starting to get really into analytics, you know, like, because everything they were doing, I mean, Travis Shaw, the third baseman, and now you guys move him to second base, and you're putting him in deep right field so he has more range, and we're all sitting back like, what? You know, and Tampa's doing that, and then all of a sudden, boom, everybody started doing it. I was out in deep right or short right, you know, so I think that was the biggest misconception was, you know, they weren't really that analytical in Milwaukee, as you know. I think just having Counts and, I mean, David Stearns, you know, these young guys who were just trying to push the game and make it better. I think that's what, you know, really kind of gave you guys a little bit of an edge when you guys would play us. It was like we didn't know what we were going up against. You know, we didn't know what you guys were going to bring out that day. And that was always fun. I think obviously St. Louis, we were old school, you know, hard-nosed baseball. And then you got Pirates coming in. They were kind of the same way. And then you guys were just like the wild card and the Cubs, you know. So it was like, okay, you know, it's a little different, but when I got there, man, it was awesome. I loved my time in Milwaukee. That was 2 of my favorite years playing. Just relax. We had a good group of guys. You know, went to playoffs every year, so you can't complain.
They do. They do.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they don't miss much.
Yep.
Kolton, good to see you, man.
Absolutely.
Congrats
nice
again on retirement.
Thank you.
And good luck later. We're all entering. Good luck in Aria in the poker tournament.
I'll tell you what. Yesterday was tough, so hopefully today's a little better.
Well, the bad news is the players you'll go up against are even better.
A lot better.
I don't get intimidated, but I'm a little intimidated right now, so we'll see.
Just go all in every hand. They don't know what to do. Just go do random stuff, and they'll look at you.
Well, then you'll be 5 minutes.
If I get some bad looks, I know I'm doing it right. So
that's true. That's true. All right, we'll come right back. We're going to go over some power rankings, and then Dexter Fowler will join us on FT. Building a hair growth routine is easy, only if you go with Nutrafol. Why is that, Todd Father?
Nutrafol, you think about hair. For me, sometimes the hair gets thinning. This thing will thicken your hair up as much as you need. You think about going to weddings or going to the beach or just hanging out with friends and you want to take photos. You want your hair to look good, and this is the best possibility for it.
Yeah, and thinning hair is different for men and women, so a one-size-fits-all approach to hair growth, that's not it, okay? They have multiple formulas for men and for women that are tailored to fit different stages of life, okay? So go check out Nutrafol. Building a hair growth routine can be easy, and you order online. There's no prescription needed as well. Free shipping, automated deliveries, and for a limited time, Nutrafol is offering the FT fam $10 off your first month subscription and free shipping when you go to Nutrafol.com and enter the promo code FOUL, F-O-U-L. Find out why Nutrafol is the best-selling hair growth supplement brand at Nutrafol.com, spelled Nutrafol.com, promo code FOUL.
The bad part, if you sit there and you go, okay, what was, how is he feeling? He said, well, it hasn't progressed anymore, but it hasn't gotten worse in the last few days, so we're just going to go ahead and do it. It's not what you want to hear from your superstar on a team that, yeah, they won last night 4-0, but if you watch the game, it was like high chopper, dribbler, ground out for your first 3 runs, and then obviously a Castellanos hit a dinger. But they need him. I said it yesterday. They need him, and his just being in the lineup is a big deal. So that's a thing. But man, he Yeah. You don't want to hear that. Like, you want to hear the dude's like, I'm ready. Yo soy listo. But we'll see.
Yeah, if he's not going to be 100% for the whole year, sometimes it's one of those things where it doesn't really heal until the off season, or you need surgery.
Especially wrists.
Yeah.
What's their lead?
2 games.
2. Okay.
Oh, the Mets did play.
Over the Mets in the division. It's not much.
Especially after the Mets had 13 of 16. They lost
I know.
13 of 16.
And they lost 3 in a row.
Yeah,
So,
Phillies have been playing 500-ish for a minute.
Yeah, 15 games.
All right, let's dissect other power rankings, not ours. We did ours recently.
I got to change mine.
Well, that is how it works.
Other
We
than
do
Dodgers.
change ours.
Dodgers are still 1. So
Well, still won. You had the Mets as one before.
no, I've never had the Mets at anything.
The Athletic
I've
put
never
out
not
their
had
power
the Dodgers
rankings.
at number 1. Check all the power rankings. Dodgers are not going to be not number
Are the
1
Mets
until they
still
lose.
2 above the Phillies?
Did I have that?
You did.
I thought, maybe
Do you know where the Athletic put the Mets?
20th.
7.
Yeah. Well, when you lose 13 out of 16 and 15 out of 18,
My power rankings
Or whatever
are
it
starting
is.
to look a little better. I got a little roasted before because the
Mhm.
Phillies had lost some games. I'll take it, though. I'll take it.
Well,
when you do power rankings, you're not doing it for the long term, though. You're doing it for that
it's right now.
exact
It's not
moment.
predictive. It's
So
right
at
now.
the time, the Mets were better than the Phillies.
Okay.
And now things have changed. So the Athletic came out with some words to describe certain teams. So being that you brought up the Mets, the word for them was roller coaster, since they had been on a heater 15 of 18 at one point, and then now finishing up June, they lost 13 of 16.
What a swing. 15 of 18 to 13 of 16.
Roller coaster.
I'll give you one. So they have the Giants at 9, and they said super weird, man. I agree. I'm like, they just got
Ever since they got
Dustin.
Devers, they can't hit. They got swept by the Marlins and lost 2 out of 3 to the White Sox.
that's bad.
And they lost last night to the Diamondbacks.
Were they not as good as we thought they were?
I don't know.
No,
But ever
it's
since they got
leveling out.
Devers, they can't hit. They couldn't hit before. Now they
couldn't hit
really can't hit.
before.
But now they
Yeah.
really can't hit. It's weird.
They're better. They're good because they pitch. I really felt like even when last time we did the power rankings, after 6 or 7 teams, it kind of just feels like teams with big gaping holes that they have to fill. I mean, I had the Padres in that. Yeah, but what are you gonna? They had to start Matt Waldron last night. Serviceable, but if you're talking about a team that's going to make a deep October run, you would rather have the Giants pitching staff. I get it; they can be up and down. Robbie Ray is, but if you look at the numbers, you have an ace in Logan Webb, and then you have other guys that can fill in throughout that time. And I just think there's a wide gap after that 6th or 7th team in baseball right now. And so, I mean, I guess it's good that we have the expanded wild card because those teams can get in. I think the most underrated of all of these, and I'm not saying that they should be higher than this, the Rays. What the Rays have done with who? Who have they done it with?
Aranda and Caminero.
Yep.
That's who it is.
Jonathan Arandas should be starting in the All-Star game.
No, that's not going to happen.
It's not going to happen. I get it. Especially when he hit, what did he hit, a 470-foot homer the other day?
He's just
For
been
a dude
incredible
that's hitting-
offensively.
350 the whole season. He's got 9 or 10 pumps. But out of nowhere. And the Rays are still there. Who's less surprising that they're winning? The Astros or the Rays?
Astros. Have you seen the Astros lineup?
Right. With who? Who
You're
are they
saying
doing
more
with?
surprising.
Yeah.
Are you saying
more
the
surprising?
Astros are more surprising than the Rays?
The Rays, listen, when the Rays starters are healthy, and even their lineup, listen, you can Caminero, Diaz, they have some dudes that have done it.
Mhm.
Jansen, some guys, Brendan Lau, Lowe in right field. I mean, they have some guys that have kind of done some things. But you look at the Astros lineup, Altuve's not hitting. He started hitting in June. But no Alvarez. Well, now no Pena. Tucker's gone. Right? Diaz isn't hitting like he did last year. Jake Myers is hitting unbelievably well. It's like, trust me, you go look at the Astros lineup and you say, how are they doing this? I had them on Saturday. First question, I looked Joe Espada right in the camera, right here. And from me to right here. Joe, how are you guys this far in first place? And he just laughed right in my face. And I go, how? And he goes, because we can pitch, which they can. Hunter Brown, Fromber's been unbelievable for this last month, right?
8th and 9th is lock.
Colton Gordon has been really good for them. All their starters have been incredible. And then you go, Hader and Abreu have been on. But the other guys, Okert, Souza, some of these other guys that no one's ever heard of have been unbelievable. That's the thing. I think if you would have looked at the standings right now, if beginning of the year and said the Astros would have a 6-game lead, 9.5 over the Rangers, you would have 10 in the loss column. You'd have said there's no way. There's no way with what they've lost the last few years. And here they are. Once again, we guess we'll never know. I don't know. No Bregman.
I would have changed what did it say? What's theirs? Dominance? June dominance, it says.
That was the word they used,
trend,
dominance.
June trend. I would have said trust. I would have said this Astros organization trusts. Dana Brown trusts what they've built. They got rid of Tucker. I think they got rid of Tucker because they were like, well, we're not paying Juan Soto type of money to this guy. And he's going to get 400, so we're getting value. They trusted that Isaac Paredes was going to do what he's going to do. Biggest thing, do you remember what Cam Smith started out hitting?
Not well.
Do you know what he's at now?
Very good.
777 OPS.
He was in college last year in the College World Series.
College World Series. You think that's just Dana Brown going, he's a pretty good player. Look at his spring training stats. They trusted what this guy did and trusted his makeup, because when we went to Houston spring training, they talked about that. I get it. Cam Smith isn't the guy that's carrying this team, but it's the idea that we trust you as a player. That means so much more to a player that already has elite skills. And now look what they're getting. This guy could be at an 800 OPS by the All-Star break, and he was in the College World Series last year.
Dana Brown is one of the best evaluators of talent in baseball for a long time.
This is why the Astros, Lunau, and who was the next GM? They got
James Click.
James Click. They won a World Series, fired him, brought in Dana Brown.
All super different, too.
All
three of them are very different.
Dana Brown and Jeff Lunau are about as far ends of the spectrum as you could ever get. One's a scout. The other one is all analytics, heavy, whatever. But they've all worked. That's what's crazy. The question is I guess, what's the common thread there? The common theme is the owner. Jim Crane is the only common theme in this whole thing is Jim Crane is the guy. So what is Jim Crane doing that no one else is doing?
My interaction with Jim Crane, obviously people are going to say he should have been more at fault for things, all this stuff. He shouldn't have fired whatever. I don't think he should have fired AJ Hinch. I get it. I'm a big AJ Hinch fan, so that's my bias. But my thing is, Jim Crane, when I was there for 6 weeks. He was integral in telling some of those young guys how he wanted them to act as a representative from their organization. He would sit those guys down and go, I want you to sign autographs. I want you to be somebody that's forward-facing for the organization. People will be like, oh, okay, well, that's going to make you money if your superstars are out there forward-facing. Like, maybe you should pay them more if you're going to do that. He is involved in those things, but I never saw him overstepping into the baseball. Like, I remember him talking, Dallas Keuchel had that perfectly manicured beard. He's like, none of my other businesses would anybody ever have a beard like that. He's like, but I kind of like yours, Dallas. He wasn't like, I think you should start throwing more changeups, because that year he was struggling a little bit. I think you should go back to throwing more changeups and the breaking ball below the zone. I never heard him, and I think he was in the clubhouse more than I'd ever seen any owners. But I never saw him talk about baseball.
Let me just bring up a counter or some clarity for fans. I don't think during the season he's going up to a guy trying to tell him anything, but I have heard he is super involved on moves, but he knows ball. Just like John Middleton knows ball. There are some owners, most of them are super involved. He's got a couple
great golf courses.
Yeah, but most of them are super involved. But there are a few that really know ball, and yeah, he's not making the decision on optioning so-and-so. It's not the little stuff. But, every owner's involved in the big moves, the free agent signings, the trades. he's good at making decisions like that. Everyone makes their mistakes, right? They signed Abreu. That didn't work out. But he's had a lot of hits.
But he wants to win.
And he put the right guys in place. Dana Brown's doing a great job. Dana Brown is doing an awesome job with that team as the GM, right?
Yeah, but the two owners that you brought up, in my opinion, I feel like they just both want to win, whether they know ball or not. What level?
They're making decisions. Even if you say they want to win, okay, well, I have this much to spend on a player. Which one? And they're part of the decision-making process. They're making the right call more often than others.
Jerry Reinsdorf will tell you he wants to win, but they don't win.
Right, so he's not making the right call as much as those guys.
He tells you he wants to win.
Dexter Fowler's getting set up with us, so let's swing back in 2 minutes with Dex. We're going to take you through the latest card that I pulled in my Arena Club slab pack, AJ, and here it is. I pulled a Jared Jones card. So Jared Jones is going to be out for a minute, but I'm going to hold on to this one for the long term. He was nasty in his rookie season.
Agreed. This is a great card to pull. It's going to go up in value once he comes back because this guy dealt in his rookie season, gets punch outs, he gives you innings. Once he's back, Scott, you're in it for the long term. Don't give up on Jared Jones or this card you got from Arena Club.
Yep, there it is. That's how you pull a slab pack card. It's very cool. It's all fancy and digital. You can get it sent to you physically. And if you want to sell it right back to Arena Club, you can do that with their buyback option right away, or you can hold it right now. You can get 20% off your first slab pack or card purchase. Just go to arenaclub.com/FOUL. Use code FOUL. We've been talking about Arena Club all season long because they dominate the hobby. If you buy, sell, trade, collect, go for it.
Don't get me started.
We're coming back.
Don't get me started.
Hold on.
We ain't gonna go there because we can get in trouble. But we got other stuff to worry about right
We'll
now.
be back with Dexter Fowler in 2 minutes. But AJ, let's show this Alden Gonzalez tweet first, just to show the parity. It's July 1st, and all but 9 teams are within 4 games of a playoff spot. The 9 teams: Royals, Orioles, Braves, Marlins, A's, Pirates, Nationals, White Sox, Rockies.
Which of those are the most surprising?
Rockies.
Oh, come on. I'm going to say Braves are probably the most surprising or not, right? Braves, Orioles, Royals are the 3?
Orioles are the most surprising.
Over the Braves.
No, you're right. Braves are the most surprising, then Orioles, then Royals. Orioles has just been going on for the whole season. Yeah, Braves is
They started 0-7, Scott. That's not the whole season?
The Braves and the Marlins are a half game apart. That is wild. We're halfway through the season, and those 2 teams are in the same spot. I think that says a lot. But anyway, the rest of the teams obviously are all in the mix, even some where you're like, I don't know if they're that good. But
yeah, I was watching the Pirates game. It was on yesterday. And they were like, since Don Kelly took over, they're like 15-15 or something. They're doing so much better.
That when you're setting that as your bar.
Or Chuck Garfien tweeted about the White Sox. They won 28 games. They didn't win 28 games till August 1st last year. They also had the all-time record for the most amount of losses last year. That's what you're comparing it to. They're never going to be that bad again. Never. The Rockies might be that bad, but not the White Sox.
That's tough.
Sorry.
All right, we're back. TV's back from break. Dexter Fowler is here. What's up?
What's going
First time on FT.
I feel short in here. I think y'all seats are a little higher.
Probably.
Yeah, we definitely lowered yours a little bit.
I was like,
so
I feel like I'm a little kid in here.
That's how we feel.
You're tall. How tall are you?
6'5".
Yeah. You're good. That's why they set it up like this.
I know.
Actually, AJ's what, 6'4"?
I have a long torso, though. It makes me look taller.
I got long legs, so.
Yeah, see, exactly. That's why you look shorter, see?
Us together would be crazy.
Yeah. Maybe like 6'8".
Right?
What are you up to? How's life?
Life is great.
You're
Life
busy.
is great. I'm very busy. I'm very busy juggling 3 companies and just, staying busy, but also a good busy because I'm sure we talked about it last night, but the Commissioner's Ambassador stuff. So I'm all over the place.
What are you telling them?
What are they telling me? Is the question.
What are they telling you, and what do you want?
I I mean, I think the changes of the game have been great coming in. It's good because the commissioner ambassador stuff. Rob kind of bounces stuff off of us, which is awesome, and we can kind of give our input, and I think it's taken well.
Have you seen?
I was gonna say, did you talk to him about the comments he made the other day?
I haven't.
Did he
talked
bounce
to him.
those off you first before he said those? 'Cause,
He didn't bounce
I mean,
any.
what-
He didn't bounce
so
any of that off me.
basically, I mean, you saw him. Clearly, you saw what he said. But
Yes.
he kind of just said, "Hey, the players should not listen to the union; they should listen to me."
I
You're
mean,
on
Rob's
the
a
other
Rob.
side.
I know. I get that. Rob's a smart guy, and Rob, he's confident. So
Yeah.
I mean, if that's what he says, that's what he means.
The stuff that you've talked to him about, like we were talking about last night, how you he's a good listener, like he
Right.
actually listens.
Right.
What do you feel like is the biggest change that he brought something up and you're like, don't do that, in a sense of or something moving forward that you feel like he can institute based on the fact that he has players, he has guys, other ambassadors in his pocket that he can help.
Well, the thing about it is if you look at it, it's not just one thing. Like the fact that he has a good group of guys that can actually know the game well, that have been in the trenches, and he can bounce stuff off of, good, bad, or ugly. But we can have a conversation about it, and there's no ulterior motive.
Do you think that group that needs to be around him needs to have a good dissection of representation of ex-players in the sense of everybody, 100 million, 100 million, 100 million. And then there's only 10% of dudes ever make that kind of money in the game. Do you think he needs to be able to listen to dudes that are a year and a half, 3 years in the big leagues, 5 years, guys that are getting minor league deals?
Absolutely. But at the same time, the guys that we do have on cap, they're actually respected by the younger guys. So it's up to us to go and actually bounce that off of them. Because if Rob were to come in and talk to them, then it's something they're never going to say anything. It's like when the GM comes in, you're just like, right? But if a veteran player comes and speaks to you, you're going to give your opinions. You're going to talk to him about it. And we also, it's not one of those things where we're going to go tell them exactly what they said. We're going to dumb it down or make it, we have tact. So we're going to go and do that and say what needs to be said and what changes would help the game. And Rob, take it from there.
My question though, as a former player, what side are you on? Because you work for the commissioner, and then so Rob's giving you his side.
Right.
But then Tony and the union
We're on
has
baseball
a different side.
We're on baseball side.
I understand that, but
Right.
but there's two sides to it, and it's like the sides
I don't think you have to pick a side,
You
though.
don't, but the sides keep getting farther and farther apart. It seems like
They do, and it's up to us to keep bringing them back. Let's help bring them back because we have, like you said.
So why not work
we're
for
on both
why
sides.
not work for the union and try to get the other side to come to you?
We are. Us going to talk to players is working with the union, right? Like we're still part of the
What
union.
you just said though, you're selling the commissioner side to the players. That's your job.
I'm not. I didn't ever said that.
You
I
said
never said I'm
he's
selling
bringing-
them. I said we're going to get a. So we're forming basically our own opinions on what is going on and giving honest feedback to Rob about the player side, about even the management side. He comes to us and we're like, hey, that's probably not going to work.
Can we do it? Can we get where it's closer? Because look at the leagues that they're closer. Players,
100%.
NBA, for sure.
For sure.
They're way closer.
Yeah, but you know what? It takes, like you said, it's in everything. It takes two sides, right? It takes two sides. It takes, whether that's the owners, whether that's Rob, whether that's the players, to come up with something that brings us closer, right? And we're always polarized on each side. It's like equated to politics. It's like, you're far left and we're far right. And it's just like, there would be perfect if we could find good things from both sides and let it go in a perfect world.
How often How often does your group talk to Tony Clark's group?
Their group or players? Because we talk to players.
Well,
a lot.
is different because you go in the clubhouses and you talk to.
But that's
players.
part of that. I mean, players, the player side of things, and not like the players association side of things, like not the business side of things, but the players are going to give you the honest feedback, right? With no ulterior motive. And I get that. Like even I've been on both sides. I've been a rep, and to see that. But at the end of the day, like you got a CC Sabathia, you got a Chris Young, you got Jimmy Rollins. Like, these guys can go in and talk to the young guys, and they respect the young guys enough to ask them their opinion. And we are the vehicle that could go tell, but not a sense in like, oh, I'm gonna go tell everything that happened. I'm gonna go tell them what the guys want, and let's figure out if we can mesh this all together.
What do they want?
I mean,
What
it
did you
varies.
want, and what did you want?
It varies. It could go from travel to draft to, we talk about everything. To Little League, like perfect game, like youth baseball. Like it's not just, it's all encompassing. It's not just one thing. Like we're hammering one thing. It's just like, what do guys want?
But then do you tell the players what the commissioner wants?
Absolutely. We'll see if, like, hey, would that work? You think, like, would you like that? If yes is no, and then it's not up to us to be.
Sorry, when you finish, I have another. I'll follow. Go ahead.
No, but it's not up to us to go to them and be like, hey, you know what? These guys want this. Like, make it happen. Like, it's about like, hey, Rob? What do you think about this? It's a conversation. It's not a demand.
Do you ever think, like, because you were a player rep and now you're working for the commissioner, you kind of switch sides? I don't know, because I wasn't a rep. Because I would have been a bad rep. I would have just started screaming.
Right. We don't
some negotiations, and I would have just started screaming like, you're an idiot.
We don't look at it like that. We look at it as we're trying to help the game. Like, and I think all of us, the pedigree we have in the CAT program, like, we understand that there is two sides. We understand that this is a business. And we're not trying to get into mostly the business aspect of it. We're trying to get into making the game better for everybody.
Can I bring up one example?
Exactly.
Yeah, so one example is coming up. Why is the MLB draft Sunday night in the midst of All-Star Week getting totally overblown by everything else going on during that time period when it should be in Omaha? And at one point, when I worked at the league, they were right there. And then I think COVID messed it up. Yes, COVID messed it up. They had a deal. I'm like, can you call them again? Because that would be sick. We know that's where it
honestly,
should be.
I don't have the answer to that.
But tell him.
Yeah, well, I'll ask him.
What do you think? Like, I don't know how locked in you are on the draft. Doesn't matter about the players. Do you think that our draft should be bigger and in a spot where everyone's looking at the top college players already?
Yeah, but I mean, you look at all that and it's timing, right? Because you got guys now like College World Series. They want to do the draft combine. They want to do all this stuff. So I remember when I graduated, I got drafted. It was June 7th, right? And now we're a whole month after that. But you know, I think with media and you got guys like, you can now go in and see on the technology that we have. Like, so I think there's more going into the game and analytics wise that they had to move it back. And it's so close to the season. Like, this is the place where kind of everybody can go and, you know, really bring their guys to draft.
What's the one thing that you're like, we got to be able to do this to sell the game, make the whole game get better as a marketing thing?
I think our players we need to be, you know, you see NBA stuff all over, like media wise, like, and I mean, you got guys like Mookie Betts, Aaron Judge. I mean, Shohei's all over the place, but even Trouty, like having him like to be the face of the game, like we need to push that more so we're more visible.
Yeah, we don't hear from them often, aside from like the 2-minute post game and the
right.
You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Mookie is in another category. He's all over.
Exactly.
He's super out there. He's doing interviews. He's hosting shows. The other guys, I feel like you never hear from them.
Yeah, and it's tough because I mean, even when I was playing, it's like you're on Instagram, you're on your whatever avenue you use, and it's kind of gotten like you get to look down upon. Like if you're not playing well, like why are you on? You know what I'm saying? Like there's a lot of that. Like, and I think like other sports, they don't really care. Like the owners and all that, they don't care. And I think we need to be more open to, you know, opening our lives up for everybody, so people can get to know us.
But my thing is I don't think MLB does a good job. They've gotten better, but they don't do a good job of encouraging guys to do that. And you're on the commissioner's players side.
Well, that's another side of things.
Right? Like, but there needs to be people out there telling players from both sides, hey, you need to do more interviews. You need to – I do national games every Saturday. I walk into the clubhouse. There's not one player in the clubhouse. And they're like, you get 20 minutes to talk to players, and you stand there, and there might be one guy in there. There needs to be a 5-minute window where you have to be in your locker. Other sports do it. Football does it.
Right.
5 minutes. Give me 5 minutes a day. And if I get 5 minutes, and you know what? If I can only talk to Dexter Fowler and I miss Erik Kratz because that 5 minutes is up, then I have to wait till tomorrow. But instead, like, we did a thing.
I don't hate that.
We did a thing in spring training. And listen, I know players are going to complain about that, but it's fine. 5 minutes. You got to answer questions for 5 minutes the whole day. It's not a big deal. Now, if you're the starting pitcher, you get a pass, right? Because you're pitching that day. But like, we go into places in spring training. I go into places here.
Okay.
And there's reporters that are trying to get to talk to players, and they only get a little bit of time. And the player never's in there. And there was one, I'm not going to use who it was, but there was a national reporter trying to talk to a certain player, and the team's like, yeah, we're not going to help you. We're not going to help you talk. And this is a star player. No, we're not going to help you talk to this person. Why not? He doesn't really want to do the interview. Okay, but we're trying to promote the game. We're trying to help the player. We're trying to make more people fans. But then at the same time, the teams
100%.
and the way it's set up doesn't help promote anybody, because all you got to do is go hide in the training room for that 30 minutes when the reporter's there, and you never have to talk to him. And then after the game, you leave early or you don't come out and talk.
But that's a conversation that should be had, right? Like, this is honest feedback, and there's a conversation that could be had. And that's, I mean, we could do that.
Yeah.
Like, that's not out the, it's nothing crazy.
I mean, I get some people don't like to talk, but it's also kind of part of your job.
You seem like you use that move, by the way.
I was always there. I always talk. Trust me. I talk too much.
No, he knew that. I was in the training room.
The
training room. Yeah, I know.
First of all, I was never in the training room. Second of all, I always talk. So.
But you saw people always using the training room.
You see that all the time. Or they leave.
Yeah, the game's over.
Game's
They
over.
have a bad game, they leave.
Exactly.
Or they stay in the training room or in the food room until the reporters have to be out. Like,
no,
sometimes they make dudes wait for like over an hour, and the PR guy's like, hey, and he's like, no, I'm not talking. And then, the reporters are pissed, and then they write some bad story.
No, at the end of the day, like, I do feel like there should be that aspect of it, right? And because, like I said, I was a big proponent of, I had a bad game, good game, I'm waiting around. Like, and then I'm leaving. Hey, you guys got anything? Out. But to mandate that, I mean, it's a conversation that could be had, for sure. And that's what we were talking about last night. I mean, it's conversations. Like, just let's sit down and have a conversation. Let's sit down across from each other, have a conversation. Not a negotiation, conversation.
Yep. All right, coming back with Dex, we're going to talk about his career on FT.
That's going to be short.
It's not short. All right, Harry's is going to get an award here, MVP in the shaving world. And AJ, if you want to equate it to things that we talk about, it's not expensive. And it's super versatile, right? The company itself, because there's other products that you can get on the site, deodorant, body wash, etc. But for your everyday shaving needs, Harry's has you covered. And you look at the pricing, you look at the quality, and you're like, wait, why was I using the old classic brand for a long time?
Listen, as somebody right now that needs a Harry's, I've just been lazy. Harry's, I have plenty of them lined up ready to use. You can use them for more than one shave, which is huge for me. And the pricing is right. I got to go get my Harry's because my neck beard is sick. But Harry's will fix that. It'll line me up straight. It'll no bumps, no cuts. It's exactly what I need for a great price.
That's right. Get the edge on your shave with Harry's. Normally, their trial set is $10, but right now you can get it for just $6 at harrys.com/foul. That's our exclusive link, harrys.com/foul, for a $6 trial set.
And I show you how deep the rabbit hole goes.
Well, inside edge data dish stat. Luis Arraez, man of the hour. He's missed on 5% of swings over the last 14 days. Best in baseball. No
Only
surprise.
14 days?
They were just doing a shorter sample.
At one point, we were into like June, and he had 20 swings and misses on the year. So 5%, it might be up for him.
True. I don't know what it is on the season.
But here's the thing. This guy gets hits. He's down a little bit this year, but he gets a lot of hits. And the funny part is Kratz earlier brought up Judge's batting average. Well, how many times have we heard from analytical people? Batting average doesn't matter. It matters if you can get hits. I'm sorry. Luis Arraez missed on 4%, so he's actually gotten worse.
Here's my thing.
in the last 2 weeks. Why are we doing that? It should be like this whole season he's only swung and missed 4%.
We'll talk to our
Inside
research
edge people.
staff. Yeah, behind the scenes.
I mean,
Well, no, we do. We often do the season
no, I
stat.
know, but it's just funny that it's actually gone up at 5%.
He's off his game,
He is. He's hitting like what 280-ish.
which actually surprisingly is kind of low for him.
Yeah. He's won batting titles 3 years in a row.
My thing with him is the variety that he brings to a lineup. I get it where some teams are like, yeah, we can't have 9 of those with no pop, and he's not a good
Oh,
defender.
you can have
but
one.
I'm like, you should have one.
Have a guy that's a pest.
Yeah. Quan was awesome in the playoffs last year for Cleveland, right?
He's a pest too.
All right, we're back with Dexter Fowler. Let's do
Back.
a little career talk for a few minutes here. Compare the Rockies to the Cubs to the Cardinals to the Angels.
Wow. It's a hell of a comparison.
Right?
Rockies. You forgot the Astros.
That's a good one too.
That was a
14.
You know what? The trajectory of my career, I feel like I learned a lot from being, because we had good years and we had bad years with the Rockies. Underachieved, and we're right where we needed to be. And then I went to the Astros, and that was their second year. They'd come off losing 120 games. And a bunch of young guys. Springer just got called up. I mean, Altuve was still young. And I was kind of one of the vets there. And so I feel like that kind of, both sides kind of helped me when I went to the Cubs, because, you know, you go through all these things, right? You go through the ups and downs of baseball, and you see, you know, you got teammates like Jason Giambi, you got teammates like Todd Helton, you know, and then you go to, you know, you see the young guys coming up. So I was, they said the glue guy, but like I knew how to talk to both sides because I had been there. I've been through every situation, good and bad. So going into that clubhouse and you have a good mix, I mean, it was a recipe for success. And then leaving there and going to the Cardinals after we've won, they were kind of trying to make their way back. And also, you know, at the same time, there was a sense of urgency. So knowing that side of things as well, like, you know, you get in a clubhouse and you got a Yadier Molina, you got a, you know, Adam Wainwright, who like they've come up in this organization and, you know, just trying to not fit in, but I mean, this is their environment. So just trying to learn their environment. So it was a learning process for my first 2 years there, just getting to know guys. And I tell people all the time, I would be remiss if I came in and helped just try to change things immediately. I had to take a step back and kind of see exactly what was going on in the locker room, on the field, and try to make an honest assessment to myself and try to plug myself in any way I could help. And then going to the Angels with the manager that I've had, that I respect, going there and being able to play alongside Shohei and J-Up and Albert. I mean, we had a squad, Rendon.
Trout was good too.
Trouty, of course. But just going in that locker room and seeing all the vets in there, it was definitely a change of pace. Only played 7 games, so I tore my ACL. So, but I mean, that was kind of the long answer, but of the comparisons.
No, that's good.
Yeah.
Had you known what you found out when you went to the Cardinals, if the same offer was out there for the same contract somewhere else, would you have gone to an organization that maybe needed, because they were kind of like set, veteran, we just want you to come in and do exactly what you did with the Cubs.
Right.
Which is hard to do. It's hard to have freaking awesome years every year.
Right.
Would you have gone somewhere else that maybe it wasn't as veteran laden as?
No, I would say they were close. I mean, once you win, you want to keep winning, and it's like they had the potential to win. And my time there was cut short a year, but at the end of the day, I learned from every experience.
So I don't regret any experience because that's kind of helped me through life. Like I was in, it's crazy. I mean, we talk about it. When I was in St. Louis, I went through depression. And at the end of the day, like I realized something about myself. And that maybe if I was on another team, I wouldn't have known that. And later on in life, I wouldn't have known how to handle it. So, I mean, I don't take anything from that situation.
All right, managers. Played for Hurdle when you first came up?
Yeah.
And then, was Hurdle there the whole time you were in Colorado?
No, he got fired my rookie year.
And then who followed?
Jim Tracy.
Jim Tracy, okay. And then he was there the whole time?
No, then then Walt Weiss.
They're getting people fired.
Yeah. Then then you left for Houston. Was it Bo?
Bo. He got fired.
Geez, you're the manager killer.
You're the Reaper.
And then you went to Joe.
I went to Joe. Joe was there the whole time.
Yeah, Joe. Yeah, because you guys won.
Yeah.
And then Matheny.
Fired.
Schilt. Fired.
No, he was there. So Schilt was there.
Schilt was. You got fired.
Yeah. Then I got traded.
And then Anaheim was Joe again.
Joe.
He got fired that year.
No, I was there. He was there the whole year.
Oh, okay.
He was there for 2 years after.
Okay. So
23.
So Joe was your favorite.
Yeah. You know why? You know why I love Joe? Joe, he let us be us, right? He didn't try to. Hey, go be you. Be comfortable in your own skin. I don't care if you want to, however you want to dress, however you want to, just go play hard and be the player you're there to be. And that, I mean, the confidence in us. I mean, you play harder for a guy that like has confidence in you, right? Because you want to do like I want to help. This guy's he has my back. I'm gonna run through this wall for him.
Mm-hmm. Who didn't have confidence in you?
I mean, there's, I'm not going to name any names. They know who they are.
We got one more question. TV crowd going to break.
There's two of them in that list.
Last one.
2.5. I'll give you 2.5.
I can think of two that I know of.
I'll give you 2.5.
Not Bo, because Bo, I played.
Bo's not. And we're not going to keep. Look, he's going to try to keep.
Cubs. Favorite moment besides.
Wait, ask it one more time. Go ahead.
Cubs. It's 2016. Favorite moment besides game winning.
I would say favorite moments because, you know what I loved about the Cubs. I mean, we talk about it all the time. Like when we had a suite, like in every city we went, and all the boys after the game would come to the suite. And we would all hang out. We were literally brothers. Like we would talk about the game, we would hang out, we'd play cards. We were together all the time. And that's understated in different organizations and different clubhouses. Like you see guys like pitchers hang out with each other, the position players hang out with each other, like the Latin guys.
Now they're just doing this. They're just in their phones.
Exactly, but like we were able to have conversations. We were able to sit down every day and hang out. At home, obviously, everybody was always invited everywhere. And I kind of made that a point, like that, you can't exclude, like if we're going to dinner, everybody's going to dinner. Invite everybody. If they say no, that's fine. But at least they got the invite. The invite's always open to everybody.
The whole roster.
The whole roster.
That's cool.
So like stuff like that, and you really know, like, all right, we're a real team.
Dodgers just did that. Player plane.
They did it.
Fan plane. They said it was huge
That's
for them in the playoffs. That's what you guys did? Same thing?
So we did that. We had a meeting.
Smart.
And my wife had brought it up to me. She goes, on the wives trips, like y'all always like, family trips, wives trips, y'all always lose. I said, yeah, because we're creatures of habit, right? And I said, so we had a meeting. Theo and Jed and all them brought everybody together, management and all the veteran guys. And they were like, hey, what can we do for the playoffs to set you guys up for success? The owners were there. And I said, you know what? And I brought up that point, and I said it would be nice, like, we always have an off day we have an off day on, playoff games before you go, right? And I said, why don't we fly as a team, and then our families can come in, but we can go to dinner together, really hang out and stay on our routine, go to practice. And when practice is there, then the families can come in. And it wasn't even a second. It was like, done.
Boom.
And
Well,
everyone,
well,
and
Should have played for the White Sox. We never had a family trip.
no, but people were like, but the wives are going to be mad. I said, they're not going to be mad when we win the World Series.
exactly.
True. White Sox never had a family
Nice
trip.
little playoff share.
Right? Like,
Everything
hey,
worked
they'll
out.
be just fine. I can
Everything
guarantee
worked
that.
out.
Louis Vuitton makes everyone happy.
I love that. All right, we're coming back with Slap. All right, let's slap. First off, Trevor May's show, I said, was yesterday, but it's actually today because he was traveling. So
Good job, Scott.
you pushed to Tuesday. Actually, since I'm close enough with Trevor, I can call him out. He didn't send us his damn schedule. Now we got it last night.
Because he's doing all the ESPN
He's
StatCast
so bougie on his
games.
StatCast,
Oof,
Nerdcast stuff.
that is a lot.
Yeah.
That was a lot.
All right,
I
so
watched that.
that is coming up. And then we have a promo for you. We got to get a lot of stuff in a minute here. So there's Trevor, and he's very excited to talk about Robert J. Manfred's attack on the Players Association. Best comment I've heard so far was from a player saying, "Oh, can we have the $2.5 billion back that you said you stole from us?" Next up, you got something for us, Kratz?
No, I do.
Oh, you do?
So a friend of mine went to Kratz's college that he talks about all the time. Look at these pictures of this college. Eastern Mennonite. These are the pictures. Look at that. The scoreboard.
Oof, that's a new scoreboard.
I mean,
Fresh.
look at we can't
Ooh,
we can't
look at that grass.
we can't get Erik Kratz field. We need to give a little. We can't get cover batting cages. This is college. Can't even get a cover on them.
Hey, we got turf on there now.
But I mean, come on. This was.
Adam Posey's been doing work on that field.
You're
That
gonna have to
place
give a
is-
donation. I'm sorry. Give some money back.
Eastern Mennonite grinders.
If I had
Mr.
won
Mennonite
that if I had won that tournament last night, maybe they'd have gotten 25 grand.
My kid's Royal School better than that Royal School.
Kratz, I am actually in the market for a new car. Yes.
Wow, that's
A
big.
used car up north so I can drive very far to Todd Father's studio
And to my house.
and to your house
And
on
you want
occasion.
confidence, right?
I
You don't want to be
confidence.
confused
Yes.
because I'm
Transparency,
Yes.
which is big on our show.
And just the confidence part is what I stick with because it's like, I got to check another site. I got to check this site or that site. It's all in one place. I know I got the best deal for what I'm getting.
Take the guesswork out. It's called Car Gurus, cargurus.com to be exact. You can buy or sell your next car today at cargurus.com. Make sure that your big deal is the best deal, and also they'll connect you with trusted dealerships when you're ready to go, ensuring a keyword here, transparent and hassle-free buying process. They are super popular. Go give them a look. cargurus.com, cargurus.com. Couple minutes of bonus time, and then we're going to go play poker. Tucker Barnhardt, tip of the cap, just retired. Congratulations.
Two-time Gold Glover.
Two-time Gold Glover.
Does 2020 count? People I talk to say 2020 award shouldn't count because he played 38 games that year.
I mean, so did everybody else.
We should bring him on and ask him.
No, I mean, it's great. He got 2 Gold Gloves. It's awesome. But what I'm saying is, like, people will say, "Oh, that." I've talked to people like Jose Abreu won the MVP that year, but
Freddie too, right? Didn't Freddie win that
Yeah.
year? Yeah, it was 2 first basemen.
60 games or whatever it was.
Well-
Like we talked about the first half. Aaron Judge would be your first 60 game MVP.
You had to do half of it with a mask on, so I think it gets extra double. So it's 90 games plus you had to sit out and sit and wait. Yeah, it counts.
Baseball could have come back so much sooner, but we don't have time for that. Kratz hat's on the way out.
I thought about wearing my Marlins hat. It's a Diamondbacks hat.
We're close to Arizona.
I figured I'd wear I just like the color. That's it. But I figured I'd wear a Marlins hat because we fish at the table.
I like it, and good luck. We're playing in the Poker Championships over at Aria. Also, new merch. Wait, show me at the finish line here. I mean, we showed it a little bit yesterday, but this is the lightweight hoodie.
Is that mine?
It's not. We do not have the same size because I wear medium.
Sure.
I took your joke.
Mine fits.
Nice.
Mine fits.
Mine actually fits.
I know,
This is okay. I actually got a
We
large.
actually got you the right size.
Yeah, I got a large. I've worn larges in back-to-back days. Thanks for noticing.
What did you wear yesterday?
The t-shirt, but I got a large that t-shirt.
Oh, finally.
Yeah. That's why he didn't make fun of me.
Exactly. Congratulations.